You looking at that couple inside?
Actually, I was just looking at this little pink number over here.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of nice. They look happy, don't they? You know, it reminds me of an issue of Spider-Man I did when Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy went lingerie shopping. Of course, the Green Goblin showed up, and he pumpkin bombed the hell out of the place. But aside from that, it's pretty much the same thing.
Oh my God! Holy shit! Aren't you?
Oh, Stanley. I think you never outgrow your love of these stories of giants and ogres and witches and all of that. Superhero comics give you that. I loved anything that was imaginative, that was high concept, that was a little bit bigger than life. I loved the movies with, I loved King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein. My favorite hero is Errol Flynn. Oh man, the roles he played, he was to me, the ultimate superhero. In fact, when I used to leave the theater after seeing an Errol Flynn movie, I'd be about 12 years old, I don't know. I'd walk down the street with a crooked little grin on my face, thinking it was the way he grinned. And I had an imaginary sword at my side, and I'd be looking around hoping to see some bully picking on a little girl so I could defend her. It was always frustrating. I never found the bully, probably lucky for me because he would have killed me. But I wanted to be Errol Flynn more than anything I could think of. I should be on that list.
Name?
Stanley.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice
no,
try.
really.
Nice try.
And after we did the Fantastic Four, we did the Hulk, Spider-Man, the X-Men, so forth, we suddenly began to realize, hey, we've got fans. We had never had fans before. We had never gotten fan mail before. But all of a sudden, with the start of our new superheroes, we got real letters. I like this, I don't like this. You did a great job on this. Come back to the Baxter, Dr. Richards. I've got the usual for you. Good to have you back, sir. And I came up with a lot of catchphrases. I would sign all the things I wrote with "Nuff said" or "Hang loose" or "Face front." But I noticed that the competition was starting to use those expressions too. So I figured I've got to get something that they won't copy. And I tried to think of something A, they wouldn't know how to spell, and B, they wouldn't know what it means. And that's why I came up with the word Excelsior! Oh. I tried to inject a feeling of warmth in all the books. I always had the feeling that the other comic books, they had good stories, good artwork, everything was fine, but there was a detachment. Even in their letters pages, and they had very few. We were the ones who really made letters pages popular, but occasionally they'd run a letters page and it would be like this. Dear Editor, I read your story and I liked it, signed Charles Smith. And the answer would be, Dear Charles, thank you very much, the editor. Well, I decided to run letters pages, but I wanted to make them friendly. I wanted the kids to feel a part of Marvel. So even if somebody wrote a letter that said, Dear Editor to me, when I printed it, I wrote, Dear Stan. I changed the word editor to Stan. And when I answered the letter, instead of saying, Dear Charles, I'd say something like, Hey, thanks a lot, Charlie, you know. And I tried to keep the tone friendly, as if I'm a guy they know and we're just talking together. And after a while, it became very natural. And after a while, all the letters, Hey, Stan, I loved your story. Hey, Stan, I hated your story, whatever it was. But it was like they knew me and I knew them.
Did it work?
I began to realize, judging by the fan mail that we received, I began to realize that our books had quite an influence on the readers. And I kind of took that seriously. I felt if these people are reading my words and the words of the other writers working for Marvel, I felt we've got to be careful and we've got to make sure that we're not giving them the wrong messages. So I don't like to preach. I hate people to preach to me, and I don't like to preach to other people. But at the same time, I feel there are kind of universal truths that nobody could quibble with, like To me, the most important mantra in the world is do unto others what you'd have them do unto you. I mean, I don't see how anybody could take issue with that, and I try to follow that, and I think if everybody followed it, the world would be paradise.
Staged for 1,000 years. The barrels built from the wreck of Grunhill's fleet is not meant for mortal men.
Neither was Omaha Beach, Blondie. Stop trying to scare us. Come on.
All right.
Excelsior. Are you Tony Stank?
Yes, this is Tony Stank.
To me, the ideal hero is a guy that you feel could exist in real life. And a guy that if he or she did exist in real life, you would like to know them or be friends with them. Or when I watched X-Men or Spider-Man, believe me, I am watching just like any member of the audience. I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it. And if there's anything that's a little not good, I'm not liking that part. And I'm never saying to myself, gee, I'm the guy who started it. That thought isn't even in my mind. I just watch it like I watch any other show. And I sometimes wonder why that is. Shouldn't it be different? But it isn't. It's like I watch any movie and I watch the Hulk or I watch the others, and I got to admit I like them.
Every day with these damn alarms! Shut it off!
Don't make me come down there, you punk!
Hey, Gary! How you doing?
Marjorie, how are you? In that one area, I have been extremely lucky because I love to write. Well, that isn't true. I hate to write, but it comes easy to me, and I write fast because I don't like to write, and I like to get finished quickly. But I enjoy it after I finish, knowing that I've done it. But I enjoy the people I work with, because I work with writers, with artists, now with directors, producers, and I'm always working in an atmosphere where we're trying to think of what can we do now? What kind of movie can we do? What kind of television show? What kind of book?
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.